So I'm just starting to put all of the turbo setup onto the engine for the final time. So the manifold's on, all clamped on, new gasket, everything like that. All the downpipes on, all fitted, wastegate on. All of these little bits have been, I've Loctited them on just to make sure that they don't rattle loose, because I think that might be a problem that could happen. Forgotten how tight it was down in there, so there's our oil return, just coming down through there, through the gap. That's all in and done. Little bracket down on there just to hold it all in place. That's all on, all tightened. Water banjos are on there. See the other one runs down behind the boost pipe there. Just into the water housing on the side of the head. So yeah, that is looking good so far. Now what I'm probably going to do is, because of the angle of this downpipe, you can see it drops down quite low in relation to the engine, I am probably going to drop the subframe on here. It's not much holding it on anymore, so I'll just drop that down to be able to get this all in place in situ. That'll be the easiest way to get the engine back in. Otherwise I'd need to put the downpipe, or at least this section from this clamp to this clamp, in. I'll have to put it in the hole, then put the engine in, then tighten it up. And as there's limited space back here, it'd be a real pain, I think, to get on that clamp. So I'm just going to put it in one go. Now the Wastegate Spring, I've put an 8 psi spring in there. I didn't want to go too crazy to begin with, because I don't know how the manifold's going to perform. It might have creep or all sorts of bits and pieces. So just looking to protect it from that side. And if I need to take it off to put a bigger spring in there, I'll worry about it when it comes to that. So I'm just going to go for 8 psi at the minute and just see what I get out of that. Yeah, so what I need to do now, I think, I've obviously still got the oil lines to connect up in there. Well, what I think I'm going to do is the vacuum ports, obviously to the top one's going to be going to the control solenoid, but the bottom one will be, I'm going to weld in, I've got some little bungs, little barbs just here. So yeah, what I'm going to do is weld a couple of those into the pipe, so it's right next to the turbo then basically as well, so that will give a more direct reference. Beforehand I had some pipes coming out right by the throttle body, so I'd have only known the boost at the throttle body, which may means the turbo might have been overworking a little bit. We'll just get a clear reference. So yeah, I'll put a couple in here probably. One will go to the bottom port, and then the second one will go to the control solenoid, and then back to the top port. So yeah, I think that's going to be the next thing. Yeah, crack on. Okay, so turbo setup is all now together. All the oil lines are now on there. I'll quickly show that. So they come down here into a junction with a pressure sensor, and that obviously comes down to the main feed pipe. That's all bolted on. So I need to modify this aluminium sort of coil back holder anyway, so we'll probably just put in a little fixing point just to hold the cable there, just to stop it touching against the coil pack. Lambda sensor or wideband will go on once it's in the car, but all the jackets on. I did get a cheap jacket here for the wastegate, but not really impressed with it. I mean, it's on there, but we'll see how it lasts, if it lasts. Might do a little sum up, but so yeah, so that's all done. Again, this water pipe I can make this one up while the engine's back in the car. So I'm fine with that. So yeah, lastly, I think, I say that, famous last words, but I'm now going to do the boost pipe, get the nipples welded in, and then hopefully that should be ready to go back in the car. Okay, so got the little bits welded on. Should have took a few practice attempts on the aluminium. I haven't done it for a while, but never mind. So yeah, it's got some vacuum pipes connected to the wastegate. This top one isn't actually connected to anything, it's just there, but might as well have it connected. Easier to get to it, or when it's connected I can just have it on there for when the engine's back in the car. Let's say this second one will go to the boost controller. Now as together, I'm also thinking I might just shorten this the breather a little bit. I mean, I'll get a pipe on there, I think. I've got breathers in the block as well, so it's not, I don't think, going to be vital. But yeah, I might just shorten that down a bit just to make it easier to get a pipe on right angle out of there. But yeah, I think now it's gone dark. I think that's me done for today. Got it moved on. I will be just double checking anything that I need to do, but I think it's gonna be a case of dropping the subframe and getting this back in the car now. So that'll be the next thing. Right, so the subframe's out. I've lowered the steering rack down to be able to hopefully get this exhaust over, or it should have enough flex in it anyway. There's a subframe on the floor. Just give it a bit of a clean up, re-grease the bushes because they are a bit squeaky. And yeah, let's get back to getting this thing back in the bay. And there we go, engine back in, hanging on its mounts. So just reminds me of how tight the spaces are down the back there, but it's all in. It's all close at the top there to the strut brace. So yeah, hopefully that should be for the final time. Still got to put the subframe back in, but I'm going to make some minor modifications to the lower gearbox mount before that goes back in. Let's look at all the spaces and clearance I've got down the back there. See why I had to notch the bulkhead a little bit just for the wastegate pipe. So yeah. So yeah. Just to finish it off, got the subframe now back in, so that's in and on, all bolted in, lined up. Still need to put the drive shafts in, but see, I got the boost pipe here work out as well, but that all can be done at a later date. I need to modify the end of the exhaust now to fit onto the V-band where it comes through the back of the subframe. But yeah, that's all in, solid as a rock now. So yeah, I've got the gear cables obviously on down in there. I've modified this bracket just to allow me to secure up the high pressure pressure pipe, so that comes through up into the bottom of the pump. That's all on and secure. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the video there, and yeah, you can see what I got on with next time.